And once we have heard 4 presentations from those panel speakers, what we will do is we will open up discussion to the whole of the room. And in particular, we would like to see you all contributing to a number of key outputs that we would like to come from this session, and that is identifying key regional priorities for the Indian Ocean associated with achieving a clean ocean, current knowledge gaps for the Indian Ocean, current capacity and capability gaps for the Indian Ocean region, innovations that are needed, particularly for this region, in order to achieve a clean ocean, and the partnerships that are needed to really drive forward those innovations that are needed to achieve the clean ocean and to help the decade in achieving this particular societal outcome. That's all I'm going to say, and I'm going to hand it over to my co-chair, Dr. Nilamani, and he will introduce this session for you. Thank you.
Very good afternoon, dear friends. My name is Nilamani. I am coming from Kuwait Institute for Scientific Research. I am a senior research scientist. I work on problems related to marine structures, coastal infrastructure development, extreme winds and waves, and coastal vulnerability. As the chair was mentioning, we have 4 panel members. The panel members will make a presentation, one after the other. So I am inviting the first panel member, Professor Coldiway from UK. Professor Coldiway is a head of marine and freshwater fisheries research from Geological Society of London. She is an expert in the area of seahorse aquaculture. May we invite you to make your presentation, please. You can take 5 to 6 minutes maximum for your presentation.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. I'm both going to talk today about my work as head of the Bertarelli Programme in Marine Science and also as a fellow with the National Geographic Society. And I wanted to take you to one place that we're working in the Indian Ocean, which is right in the middle of the Indian Ocean, the Chagos Archipelago. And I wanted to, because this is my first time coming to this event and engaging fully with the decade, I wanted to give a very short video, less than just over 1 minute, which explains a little bit about our work in this area. It's not showing up. Any ideas?
Try this function key.
Perfect start, timekeeping. Okay, so you know the location we're talking about. The point I wanted to make, and I will skip the film now in the interest of time, is to say that for the last 2 years we have been building a research program in this area, which is looking at this very large marine protected area. We now have over 70 interdisciplinary scientists from 7 different countries, working from genetics through to oceanography, so physicists, biologists, and a whole spectrum of people. Why I think this is relevant in the clean ocean is this site has the cleanest seawater recorded on the planet at this point in time. So when we're thinking about regional science, we tend to focus on maybe the dark side and the things that are going wrong. But it's also to think of reference sites and areas we should be looking for to make sure that we're not skewed in our scientific understanding by shifting baselines and the fact that the ocean is changing so fast and has changed a huge amount just in our lifetimes. So we need to look at these points where we're calibrating so we can set sensible targets when we look at reduce and recovery. We need to make sure we're doing that. Similarly, there's a very limited boat activity, so talking about noise pollution and thinking about areas which are perhaps going to be non-polluted in terms of noise. This is a very important site. However, it is still impacted by plastic. To give you one example, thank you very much. Just on this, there's 55 uninhabited islands in the archipelago. Spending just 20 minutes on one of them, not great. I'm going to just do freestanding. Just spending 20 minutes on one of them, we collected over 300 single-use plastic water bottles that came from 10 different countries. And since then, we've done a more structured set of surveys to look at the impact of plastic, what types of plastic, where they come from, where we can identify the origin, what types of material, and so on. So this was a scientist geeking out, doing a litter pick and making a bar chart out of plastic bottles on the beach. We know that obviously on uninhabited islands that those plastic has come from other places, it's come from somewhere else. It could be from boats, it could be from land. But obviously we're looking at significant elements of plastic coming from land. So working with National Geographic and the other area of my work, one of the points that's been raised a couple of times earlier is the fact that we need to have better scientific understanding of the inputs of plastic from land into the ocean. I'm doing this in 2 ways. Firstly, looking at remote islands and coastal communities very heavily populated in the Philippines, but also looking at the riverine inputs, and in this case, the Padma and Ganga river system, so through Bangladesh and India. So this year I've been the science co-lead for 2 expeditions, 2 months each, running up from the Bay of Bengal right the way up to the Himalayas. We had an interdisciplinary team. You'll notice there's some gender bias there, but we used that as an opportunity to encourage women in science, technology, engineering and maths, and had again an interdisciplinary team of technologists, engineers, social scientists, ecologists and biologists. We conducted micro and macro plastic sampling of water, sediment and air. We looked at waste management infrastructure and litter and waste leakage on land, and we worked on social science understanding of behaviours, attitudes and perceptions with communities, and also engaged with local and national government. And the key for that is firstly, obviously, collecting data on types and sources of plastic entering the river and how that moves to the ocean, but more importantly, looking at solutions. One of these may be a novel partnership we've developed with 2 businesses to recycle high-value fishing nets into carpet tile, setting up supply chains that benefit people and the environment. And it's this kind of innovative solutions we need to be looking at. Finally, there's some science methods that we've been developing that may be of interest to be thinking about. We've applied satellite tagging and cell phone technology inside plastic bottles. This is open source technology that we'll be publishing very shortly, so low cost, very basic, very simple. Batteries last for 4 years. On the right you can see tags entering the Bay of Bengal, and I'm just checking to see if some are passing Chennai right now. But these are all released in Bangladesh in October, so these have travelled already over 1,000 kilometres. We've also used an app developed by the University of Georgia, which is for documenting plastics wherever you see it. We have it translated in Hindi and Bangla, as well as in English and Spanish, and we can develop more languages. You can start to see this is from a while ago, but we're getting some data around the region which we can certainly build on. So I think this was really to point out firstly about our programme in marine science and some interesting opportunities to look at really clean areas for collaboration, and secondly some of the work we've been doing. And I'd be very keen, both programmes aim to build regional collaborations, and we'd love to come up with some specific actions from this meeting to feed into the Undecade. Thank you. Apologies for technology.
Thank you very much, Professor Lakita. Now we will go to the second presentation. This is by Dr. Shivaji Patra. Dr. Shivaji Patra is working as a scientist at National Center for Coastal Research, Ministry of Agriculture, Government of India, here in Chennai. Dr. Patra is on deputation to start up as a senior program officer for South Asia Sea Program regional, which is one of the 18th regional seas program of United Nations Development. Thank you. Please take 5 minutes of your time. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Dr. Delmani. This is as I mentioned that this SAS program is a UN environment. One of the items is regional seas programs. So this United Nations seas program, regional seas program, South Asian seas program is secretaried by SACEP, and SACEP is like it's an intergovernmental organization. And we have it has established in 1982, and we have so many core programs. Out of the so many core programs, one program is called marine environment. So in the marine environment, we have a South Asian Seas program, which is the action plan being adopted in 1995 in New Delhi, and we have been respecting all the regional seas convention and plans under the umbrella of this South Asian Seas program. So, just like before starting that, I just highlight that why SAS programs is globally, how it is impact significance is there. So the SAS region is around 22% of global population, with only around 5% of world land mass, and 14% is global arable lands, and around 3% is in forest area, and around 4% of world coastline. So these regions are at high risk in eutrophication, and which is the, we can say the eutrophication is from the lands, and the land being used by the fertilizers for the productions to meet the human needs. Yeah, generally we say that marine pollution basically comes from the land side. So I have highlighted in red color that these are the most frequent, I can say the frequent one, frequent and most one we are discharging to the ocean from the land side. And we have segregated like the three pollutions, main types of inputs is entering to the marine pollutions. One is direct discharge of wastes into the ocean, and another is runoff into the water due to rain, which is by rivers and small canals. The one is pollution or pollutants released from the atmosphere, what we can say in terms of dust, or in the when it is mixed with the dust, mixed with the rainwater, and it falls to the ocean surface. So these are the three types of sources this entry. So the facts about the marine pollution is, as I mentioned, that 80% of pollutions into the oceans are runoff from the land side, and this makes a high consumption of oxygen because the breakdowns, the bacteriological breakdowns is there to the compound what has been entered to the ocean. So due to the breakdown of compounds, they require more oxygen to break bacteria. So that's why the formation of dead zones is encouraging. And another is the marine debris, which is especially like it's like up to micro level. So it is entering. So the innocent, I can say phytoplanktons, they don't know whether that is zooplanktons. They have been thinking that this is their food source, but when they intake, there is a huge disturbance in this. So ultimately, the food web is also disturbing. So I can say that why I highlighted fertilizers and sewages, because these two fertilizer is used to meet our needs, and sewage we are discarding. So these two is the highest priority I feel. So I can say that when it has entered to the ocean, and you see that the World Bank World Bank statistics, the fertilizer consumption, you can see there is these 5 countries having some increases only. There is no. So we have been overutilizing the fertilizer. So due to these fertilizers use, we have been facing the SARS region is having oxygen deficiency, and ultimately same time that we need our comfort. So we have been releasing the sewage, but so far we don't know that whether each nations have their sewage treatment facility with treated or untreated. So however, few of them are treating, few of them untreating. So we have to think about this, that if we release untreatedly, so what is happening to over there. So coming to the marine plastics, so earlier we have the age of earth pot, what we are telling. After that we have shifted to, with the development of technology, we have shifted to metal, that is steel, aluminum, copper, brass. Then after we know that it is very heavy, and with the change of our lifestyle, we have again shifted to plastics. So when we have the comfortability of plastics, there is a drawbacks. So we can see that the plastics entering to the ocean is directly from the human origin. So we have to think about that, and that too you can see here. Here that all the small particles and tiny, everything is entering to the ocean. So when it enters to the ocean, you see that how these innocent animals, how they are being, they have been treating. So we just indirectly treat them. Which way, and you can see that if the how it is impacting to the food webs, you say phytoplankton, all these things, it has been transforming. So at least we have to do something about the plastics, not in the big town. If big physical is there, we can collect it. When it goes to the very tiny particles, what's the solution for that? You have to think about that. So at the same time, I say I collected this information from Dr. Vishal Sweets. This is the things that he has developed, that the Indian Ocean is the third largest plastic bodies, one of the third plastic bodies. Why it is in such region? Why? If we have such, if we are doing some managing our plastic in a properly, why it is? Whether it is because this is below the equators, but still it is rising over here. So we are over here. So any impact, whether we are giving to any contribution, SAS region is there or not. So far we don't know. So we have to think about this, whether we should increase this, whether from third to can we go 1 or we can be 0. We have to think. So around the SAS region, I have gathered this information from with our member states. That's, as I mentioned, that our member states, 5 countries member states is for the SAS region, and we completely they are our strengths, and we are complementing each other to solve the environmental problems. So in this aspect, we have studies that are marine pollutants, because we have scoping nutrient studies around the SAS region. And with that scoping studies, we came to know that the nitrate is the major concentration of the concentration around the SAS region. And from this, we have made the first initiation about the submission of nitrogen resolution. And thanks to Government of India that and other supporting countries, our member countries, to support this in the UNIA, and it has been successful submission. After the successful submissions, the government of Sri Lanka has started initiating that Colombo Declaration to add the value, to added value of the nitrogen resolution. At the same time, government of India also submitted a single banning of single use of plastics for in the UNIA 4. All these things happened because of we have gathered a lot of information. I start about the nutrient pollutions. And with this pollution, with these nutrient studies, we have submitted the nitrogen resolution, what we are going to, I will show you in my next slides. And again, same time that we have this marine litters availability. You can say that availability of X about the marine litter. All these 5 countries doesn't have. And another availability of agencies, for any special agencies there for regulating marine litter, no. Except Sri Lanka. Availability of the regulation, separate regulation for marine litter, except Sri Lanka.
Last 1 minute, please.
Yeah, okay, thanks. Any regulation? No. So in that way, we have no much more things about the marine litters. So for the nitrogen management, we have started a new project. Is called Nitrogen Policy Management for the Common Benefit of South Asian Regions, where we will be having gathering all the national regulations, and at the same time we will do some research on the field-based research, and to find out to refresh the nitrogen management. Another slide. Yeah, this is the strategy we have made for the marine litters. We have to do the very precisely, or else we cannot be maintain the management for the marine litters. So these are the SASEP's initiatives for the SAS region for the clean oceans, which is having same mandate with the Undecades. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Patra, for sharing wonderful information. Now the third presentation is by Dr. Somasundar. Dr. Somasundar, he was former advisor for Ministry of Earth Science, Government of India. And he was the architect for many programs on ocean health related issues. He has 35 years of experience in this area.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Nirmani, for the introduction. First of all, I'd like to thank Dr. Atmanan, Chair IOC India, for giving me this opportunity. My talk basically what are the challenges and opportunities of marine litter in the Indian Ocean region. My presentation will be very brief, and then I'll talk about brief background about the marine litter, particularly with plastic. What is the rationale? Why do we need to do that? How do we address this problem? And what are the national commitments? If you look at the old textbooks, typical pollutants are petroleum hydrocarbons, heavy metals, radioactive materials, nutrient pollutants, PCBs. But there is nowhere mention about plastics in the past, before the introduction of plastic is used by the human beings. So there is a capacity to absorb some of these pollutants like hydrocarbons, heavy metals, by the marine environment. But marine litter, particularly plastic, there is very little capacity to absorb because the life of the plastic is decades of years, and then and it cannot get absorbed in the ocean and it floats around. I just give you a little bit background about the next slide. About the statistics, about 80% of the litter consists of plastic. And about 8 million tons of plastic is entering every year into the ocean by the human activity. And if it continued like this by 2025, it will be about 250 million tons plastic floating around the world. And 10 billion pieces are already going around and then creating so much harass to the marine environment. And this plastic can drift anywhere, right from Antarctic to Arctic. There is a report now that plastic has entered into the Mariana Trench 11 kilometers deep into the ocean. So it can go anywhere. And as I said, this is a very synthetic material, it doesn't degrade and lives for, stays there for years together, causing harm to the marine environment. So that is the most important thing. And the lot of marine biota mortality, we see in environment like pristine environment like New Zealand, Australia, where you find a lot of dolphins and whales are killed. Though there is a pristine environment, nobody knows why they are dead. They're dead dolphins in that region. It could be one of the reasons could be the marine plastic. And there are studies that about 700 species in the world and marine environment have been affected by the plastics. And ocean is a vast space. Our target should be we should prevent plastic entering into the ocean. There is no way you can retrieve plastic from the ocean back to the land. So our main target should be prevent plastic entering into the ocean from the land. Now already there are several declarations have been, IUCN has already taken up. Sustainable Development Goal has already introduced the various targets for containing the plastic, and CBD is another area where they are also talking about the plastic. Next one. There are various sources of the plastic. It could be industry, it could be construction, it could be thermal plants, it could be fisheries and all. So next. What is the rationale? If you look at the global level, about 1.3 billion cubic kilometer space is available for 8 billion people. Imagine. So each person gets about 0.2 cubic kilometer space. That provides 50% of oxygen we breathe, and it absorbs 30% of carbon dioxide we breathe into the ocean. And it also provides the protein source required for the coastal people. And ocean, 90% of the trade is being done in the ocean, and more than 80% of electronic transport is done through sea cables. And so ocean space is very important for the developmental activities, but at the same time we have to do in a sustainable way. If you look at the regions, particularly for Indian Ocean region, this morning there was a big interesting talks about why Indian Ocean is very sensitive for the plastic environment, plastic pollution, because Indian Ocean is recognized as the largest area of anoxic regions, both Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal. So, and if you look at, there are 400 million people live along the Indian Ocean region, and the capacity is very limited, their scientific capacity. And 70% of the oil world over is transported to the Indian Ocean region, which is very sensitive. And as you said, that Indian Ocean is warming faster than the other Atlantic and Pacific. So when we have a lot of ecological sensitive areas, which is these plastics are hazardous to the sensitive areas. And at national level, we have about 800 kilometers, 800 kilometers, and 2.2 million square kilometers EJ, and about 1,300 islands are located. And there are multiple sectors are working in the ocean environment. So who is responsible for what? This is the same case with other ministries of other countries also. There are different sectors working in ocean environment, not taking the responsibility. Next one. And we need to have an action plan. We require participation of both private, public, and civil. And private people generally required to provide the footprint of disclosure of their plastic production and the waste management, and public participation is required, and civil participation is also important. Next one. See, we need to have a holistic approach to address this issue. One is about the Then if you look at the sustainable development goals, there are 10 sustainable development goals, particularly with respect to the SDG 14, life below the water, out of which 2 are very important for this working group. One is about the marine pollution, which has a target of 2025, and the other is ocean acidification. These are the 2 important aspects we need to address together by this forum. What is the target? One is by 2025, prevent and significantly reduce marine pollution of all kinds, in particular from land-based activities, including marine debris. It's a very challenging task, and I believe we are left with 5 years, and we have to achieve the target. Next one is minimize and address impacts of ocean acidification, including through enhanced scientific cooperation. So these are the 2 important topics relevant to this group, and we also have to have a national plan to contain the plastic production entering into the sea. Some preliminary studies have been done by our Center for National Center for Coastal Research, and this is a very preliminary study to show the distribution of marine litter in different parts of the country.
So, 1 minute, please.
Okay. The last point I will talk about the ocean acidification. We don't have an idea of how much ocean is acidifying. We know that 30% is being absorbed by the ocean. What is the change in the pH? How it affects the marine environment? So this kind of studies are very much important to study the ocean acidification. And we need to have a global indicator as well as a national indicator to monitor the targets. So we have developed national indicators for these 2 goals of sustainable development goal. We also have a global indicator. These are being monitored by Government of India periodically. Lastly, we need to have a institutional base to monitor and understand the marine plastic and acidification. We have a large institution based in India addressing these issues. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Dr. Thomas, for sharing a lot of innovative information. The last but not least is from Mohammed M. Uddin from Bangladesh. Dr. Uddin is Associate Professor from Department of Oceanography, University of Chittagong. His research interests are coastal oceanography, geomorphology, hydrography, meteorology, marine environment and climate services. He is also very active as a founder, vice chairman, board member and advisor for different groups like, for example, Blue Green Foundation Bangladesh. So may we request Dr. Uddin to share his country's vision on this topic. Thank you.
Good afternoon and thank you very much, Dr. Vidal. So among the 6 special outcomes, I think this is the most important one and very closely relevant to all general people who can feel that the ocean is not clean nowadays as it should be. And as in context of Bangladesh, they are also active in doing some measures, like the most important things for identifying the sources and the types of the pollutants. The government has taken a mega project under the Department of Environment that is working hardly with the universities and research organizations to classify types of the pollutants, especially the plastic pollutants, and then to find out the pathway, how it go into and the science of plastic, how it is working in the northern Bay of Bengal. Again, the government has established Bangladesh Ocean Research Institute, BURI, who is also responsible to work on the ecological conditions monitoring, especially in the St. Martin Island, which is the only coral island in Bangladesh, but it is under degradation now because most of the corals, live corals, are not available nowadays. So they are also very serious about this. And then the government has already taken some decisions in the parliament. Like just last day, I got newspaper headlines that government has banned plastic in the beach area, in the Cox's Bazar. You know, Cox's Bazar is the largest natural seabed, And they say if there are plastics available in front of the hotels, then the hotel authority will be responsible for this. And that's a good thing, I think, to combat plastic pollution, especially in the beach area. For example, last year we had a beach cleaning program from the Blue Green Foundation Bangladesh and the Environment Ministry in Cox's Bazar. In 1 hour combat with the students and the participants, we got 50 kilograms of plastic. 50 kilograms of plastic in a small area, like 1:1 square kilometer. That means the huge plastics were there, and that was actually becoming unusable like a tourist. But now they have taken initiatives. They have initiated some informal educations, like with the NGOs and some volunteer organizations. We are doing some ocean literacy and environmental literacy to the clubs and schools students. So we are organizing, the government is organizing some events like in Ocean Day, Earth Day, Biodiversity Day, and the Environment Day. So every school is observing and organizing some programs to make the students aware about the pollutions, because pollutions and pollutants coming in. And then also the Environment Ministry has passed one regulations to classify the industries with red to green, and they are banning the industry which has no ETP, especially for the Chittagong and Dhaka, because in Chittagong and Dhaka we have two rivers, Buriganga and Kondofuli rivers, which is drastically polluted from the industries. So now in Chittagong, the government has set up one ETP, central ETP. So most of the industries are connected with that central ETP. So the environment is getting better, I think. And City Corporation and BSTI, one of the Standard Testing Corporation Center, they are working together to make the city, especially the Dhaka city and Chittagong city, make clean, because all of those cities directly connected with the ocean. So some of the cultural programs are nowadays initiated, like in the movie and drama, the ocean education and ocean importance are highlighted and focused. That is also good thing, and the Sports and Culture Ministry is actually patronizing to give that emphasis on the drama and cinema. That's a good thing. So those are the points I can share with you as we taken in Bangladesh and practice in Bangladesh. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mohammed. Now we will open this session for 5 minutes. Feedback from different countries, and also you can raise any questions to the presenters. So we will go for another 5 more minutes. Countries from other countries, please give your feedback related to this topic also.
So what we're looking for here is for each of you to think about the panel discussion or the panel presentations that have been given here. If you have questions or you would like to provide a perspective from your country, from your agency, from your institute about your issues, about your key priorities, about some of the things that you're doing in your region and how they might contribute to the decade, that is what we're looking for. We'd like an open discussion, so everyone is welcome to put their hand up and ask a question or provide a perspective over the next, we have until 3:45. Yes, 4:45. So please do not hold back and feel welcome to certainly put your hand up and provide a perspective or ask a question. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you for all presenters for their excellent presentations. Just to compliment Dr. Shivaji, I think he could not finish his presentations. SOCET under Southeast Assist Program has developed a regional marine protection plan with specific action, priority, activity, and timeline. It was just adopted at the end of last year. And now we are going to communicate with the member countries of SACE to have national implementation. First, we started our communication with India. We are grateful of India that it was accepted to work in this, because we know that in India there are a lot of capacities to be helpful. After having national action plan for India, we will be working with other Southern member countries. This Marine action plan is about 10 years action plan, which covers different kind of activities and targets, including institutional capacity development. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As a regional consultant for the management program in South ACCS, during the year 2007, I prepared a framework document and happy that SASF has taken up the initiative and then started the action plan for putting an end to this management problem in the oceans. One more thing which I don't know whether the action plan includes, how the waste collected are going to be disposed. It's a major problem because see, every month, every year, on the third Saturday of September, the marine litter collected from the coastal areas, amounting to so many thousands of tons collected. And then where do they go? I think they find a way back into the system, either through the land-based sources or through some other source. I think we need to have an action plan in position for proper disposal of the marine litter, which is very, very important, because again, the entire thing will come through the land-based sources. I think this one matter recommendation which should go to the system is proper disposal of the marine litter which is collected from the coastal areas. I think this is one I wanted to share with you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your very good recommendation. We just, based on the recommendation, we have initiated small things like we have first we have submitted a project to World Bank that where we can finding the hotspot, marine hotspot from the flood. As you know, the mismanagement plastics from land side is entering to the ocean, and that's why we are telling them this plastic. So with the increase of temperature and salinity is very simply small. So that ultimately is the food web, marine food webs. So we have developed a small project and we have submitted to World Bank that we're finding the plastic debris hotspot in the ocean. So with that respect, we got a very big project from the World Bank, and that World Bank project is a grant, and it is implementing to the not in the SARS countries, it's around the certain countries that includes all the countries. So in this aspect, we have given the prioritize of the circular economy, that is called contrast money. Like if the plastics they got it from the marine, so what is the value of that one? If they got it instead of fish, if they got some plastics, how it will be? Like they have World Bank has initiated a good project in the Maldives that the plastic bottles what they are collecting in the ocean is taken by the Adidas company. So the same thing we are like to replicate, take it like to Indian Ocean, for instance. So we have started a small footsteps towards what we are making of this. Thank you.
Actually, I think not only the plastic, see, for example, in Maldives, the used batteries are a major problem. In Bangladesh, the biomedical waste is a major problem. So the marine litter means it should be considered in holistic way, not restricted to plastic alone. So there are so many other things which are spoiling the marine environment. I think we need to have these issues also taken into consideration while recommending the green ocean.
Yeah.
Just to add to that very very important point. I think there could be some value in compiling, like the Adidas example, the opportunities for recycling marine litter, and that comes down to identifying what types and quantities there are for the other thing is to also remember that a lot of plastic does enter straight into the marine environment, either from islands with no waste management system, from boats, and remember most fishing gear is plastic, and that gets discarded at the end of life. The good thing is that much of that does have a value in the recycling sector, so that's a case of looking at supply chains. So there could be something we could consider through the Undecade is pulling together the regional examples that we have around solutions, and it is a regional consideration of the very different plastic challenges around plastic and poverty compared to dealing with what do you do with your expensive coffee cup in New York. So we have to think about or London. So I think there is some locally, regionally specific context we should think about.
Thank you. So let me introduce myself, Dr. Prabhakar Mishra. Okay, I'm working on the focal point right now for the Ministry of Earth Science, looking after the marine litter and microplastic programs. So I don't know how many of you know that we have in India, there is a village which has completely changed the garbage to means the concept of circular economy. They have completely changed it to, they are minting the money from the garbage. It is called India's first garbage cave, and that is in Chhattisgarh. So you can also Google in the Google and find out details about that. So it is possible. It is not possible that we should not think that it is possible. But what we saw, we made a lab, 2 days back I made a presentation. So we saw that we last coastal cleanup we did a campaigning for 34 beaches all over the country, and we got 35 tons of garbage, and out of that maximum means most percentage is from the plastics, and that the origin is from the tourism, the activities from the tourism. And I do not think the solution also that if you change the plastic to something else, that is not the solution. I don't think people will start the same way they litter the beaches. So it is the very important is somewhere we have to create a massive awareness program in each country. In every country means like the country or behavioral attitudes to change first. So that is the biggest problem what we found. But because we have started, but the same things and same way if we litter, it may be from non-degradable to biodegradable, but the same problem. It can go to the same environment. And in Chennai, we had an experiment. We had in the Kuam river, we have a river, we have 2 rivers that crisscross our Chennai city. In one river, we had a floating net, and for 1 year, we have already collected a batch of 20,000 tons, and out of that 2,000 metric ton is the plastics. And it has been this garbage what has been as Dr. Sampath mentioned that it has been not means let out to the sea, or it has been taken care by the municipal corporation and it has been recycled. But we have to also see the system what we have on land side. It should be revisit and look how best way we can manage our plastic garbage. But it is possible because this particular village, as I mentioned, that the local administration took initiation and they did it. Similarly, during our beach campaign also is here that when the local administration is taking initiation, then they have in 1 hour collection, they almost 9,000 kilogram of plastics they could collect from the beach. So it is possible and we can do it, but we have to find out a way how to do it. That's what I want to do.
I totally agree with the attitude change now. And I think each country has its what a special problem, and about the way we find it in the sea syringes from the hospital, radioactive material, antibiotics, all kinds of stuff. Even the shops that change the oil, for cars, they dump whatever is left from the changing of the oil into the sewage that goes to the sea. So I think each country has its problem, and it's not only plastic, we have also made plastic problem. We do have other problems. That's compounding the money is available.
Okay, last question because lack of time. Very short.
Yeah, it's going to be short.
Just take less than a minute.
Thank you for all the presentations. I just want to give a small statistics of India fishing boats. There are 269,000 boats fishing. They have license to do so. Imagining that annually 50% of them discard their net into the ocean, we have so much garbage. Unless there is such a strict policing that happens, we are probably talking prevention. Thanks to Dr. Somasundaram, for the first time officially, there's a word called prevention of material entering into the ocean. And if you can police this material, not dumped into the ocean, like mercilessly, we probably have a reasonable stake saying that the UN is doing a great job for the world oceans. Also, I think there's a gap in our research into the dissolved plastic material that comes. There are Woodsole research that suggesting that microbes in the ocean do dissolve the plastic, and the end products are not clearly understood. And there should be a way of measuring experimentally, and then also seeing their quantification using some analytical techniques, which will bring up the carcinogens that are emitted or released into the ocean. That's a bonus point. I have a question to Ms. Heather. You have a wonderful site of last ocean wilderness somewhere down south, a subtropical or a temperate region. Do we have something analogous in the tropical belt where a marine protected area could be kind of established where the research of the kind that you mentioned in your talk be made as a reference material for the future?
That is a fully tropical site. It's on the equator. So the Lagos Archipelago is fully tropical. So it's south of the Maldives. Yeah. Yeah.
No, I mistook it for South Africa.
Okay. No, too far south.
Okay, then very short one. Last very short one, because we don't have much time.
We can talk more later.
I think my recommendation will go, no matter what.
So, can I make a short comment?
Yes, please.
So, the theme of the discussion was clean oceans, and I think 90% of the time, like the plastics, we are spent on plastics only. But there could be other sources of marine pollution, and I would like to take a cue from what Dr. Ramaya said, just looking at the aspect of fishing boats. Now, I understand that the large ships or the cruise ships or the cargo vessels, they are very well regulated by IMO, and they set out the norms for the fuels which are used in these kind of ships. Whereas for the fishing boats and the small recreational boats and others which we use, there are hardly any norms existing. So the fuel and the exhaust from there which is coming out is also polluting our oceans. So we may send some recommendations on how do we reduce that kind of pollution. Second point, maybe just to look at on noise pollution, which we have not at all addressed in our marine science. So can the emission norms or the engine noise could be reduced to reduce marine noise? Two short points. Since we have been discussing about So we are listening to but what we cannot see is that I think in the South Asian seas region, which doesn't have the seawater quality criteria, to have the just plug it. Regionally